Viking Sunstone compass. It is no secret that the Scandinavians were seen as the greatest seafarers of their time, responsible for some of the most incredible navigation breakthroughs and land discoveries that many other nations refused to even attempt at the height of their power. The cause for their seafaring skills have often been a mystery, but several researchers now believe that, with the use of crystals, the ancient Viking people were capable of navigating the ocean and snow-filled overcast days even when the sun and sky were not visible to be used for navigation. Referred to as sunstones, the Vikings described using a number of small crystals to assist with navigation even when the sun was not visible in the sky. The way this was accomplished was by holding the crystal up to the sky and moving the crystal around until it would show the position of the sun. Historians had first believed that the stories explaining the use of the sunstone as navigation were merely allegorical and had no real bearing in navigation of any kind, as no surviving instances of these sunstones are around today. Interestingly enough, however, researchers have begun to realize that by using polarizing crystals, it is possible to find the location of the sun even when the sky is overcast, and even when the sun is behind the horizon. This has led researchers believing that perhaps the sunstones were these special crystalline structures, but that any evidence to how they would work is still being researched and understood in the modern day. Flexible Roman glass. There have been plenty of inventions made by the Roman Empire that seem to have been lost to history, despite being of a nature that seems superior to our modern-day inventions. One of these incredible lost inventions of the Roman Empire was that of flexible Roman glass. According to the stories written down by the Roman historian Pliny the Elder in his works known as Natural History, there was a renowned glassmaker that was capable of making a flexible Roman glass that was incapable of shattering and was able to bend only to resume back to its normal shape after being bent. The account details that the recipe was discovered during the reign of the Roman Emperor Tiberius Caesar, of whom shut down the workshop of the glassmaker to prevent other glassblowers and prices of precious minerals from collapsing by the introduction of this new material and technique. Because of this, the technology would be lost to time. Today, the only comparable technique to that of unbreakable glass is that of plastic used in the modern day. It could very well be that the glassmaker used plastic to have formed bottles, given the fact that the exact procedure and recipe has been lost to time. The mystery of Roman concrete. Though many will claim that our modern-day concrete is equivalent to that of ancient Roman concrete, educated researchers are well aware of the lost technology and how our modern-day construction efforts pale in comparison to that of ancient Rome. For reasons not entirely known, Roman concrete was capable of setting and hardening even when underwater, as well as the fact that the concrete structures were far more stable and capable of support stress than modern-day concrete, of which requires the addition of rebar to handle tensile strength to prevent the concrete from breaking down. The use of this concrete allowed the Roman Empire to accomplish engineering feats that rival even the greatest construction efforts of the modern day, and to have formed structures millennia ago that will more than outlast any modern-day constructions fitted with the greatest techniques in building. In fact, researchers estimate that if humans were to disappear, the last standing man-made structures would be that of the ancient pyramids of Giza and those made using Roman concrete. Time travelers from the future. Many UFO researchers and members of the alien community have noticed an eerie similarity between the humanoid figures of the grey aliens and humans of the modern day. In fact, there seems to be so much of a similarity that evolutionarily it almost seems as if we share a common ancestor. This theory is a prominent theory in the time travel community, of whom not only believe that perhaps we do share a common ancestor with the grey aliens, but also that perhaps humans of the modern day might actually be the common ancestor of the grey aliens. This might be a confusing concept to grasp initially. However, the evidence is overwhelming. After Albert Einstein discovered the theory of special and general relativity, it became known that if an entity could travel faster than light, they would be able to not only travel through great distances in space, but also great distances in time. Unfortunately, performing this action is no easy task. It was discovered that the only way to travel faster than the speed of light would be to use a theoretical bending in space-time known as gravitational waves. Lucky for us, this theory of gravitational waves was proven true rather recently, as back in 2014, the first measurements of gravitational waves were measured by analysing the changes caused by two orbiting black holes. This means that not only is time travel possible within our universe, but that it most likely is a natural occurrence. This could very well mean that these supposed extraterrestrials are nothing more than our future counterparts travelling into the past to observe their early ancestors, and that contact scattered all throughout human history is merely the cataloguing of humanity itself. This could be evidence of advanced civilizations having formed via information shared by our future counterparts in the hopes of either making attempts at increasing our rate of evolution or merely due to ensuring the stability of the timeline. This could also be a main explanation as to why these advanced civilizations no longer exist and any memory of them has been completely eradicated, most likely due to our future counterparts ensuring that the timeline does not change and that their impacts on the natural evolution of our species does not carry any drastic effects on our species. Alien civilization labourers. When discussing theories around the Anunnaki and other ancient alien references, there seems to be a resurfacing theme of labour when it comes to contact with our ancient ancestors and their supposed gods. In fact, cultures from around the world detail how our ancestors would bring the gods gifts of precious minerals such as gold, silvers, and various metals. This has led many conspiracy theorists amongst the ancient alien community to believe that perhaps the gods of the ancient times were merely extraterrestrial life forms looking to convince the population of the Earth to work for them and gather precious minerals to be used and harvested for their own technologies. This theory would make sense from a logistics standpoint, given the fact that aliens most likely would have originated from an environment vastly different from that of our planet. It could be a very real possibility that entering the Earth's atmosphere and walking amongst its environment could be incredibly hazardous to any extraterrestrial life. This could be due to either the variation in gravity on our planet to their home planet, the stressful atmospheric conditions of our planet, or even viruses of which would be so foreign to the alien species that their immune systems would be completely unable to defend against our native diseases. This could very well mean that humans could have been used as a commanded labour force to retrieve these precious minerals and provide them to the ancient visitors. Given the vast amount of evidence in regards to ancient cultures depicting the gods originating from the stars and sharing advanced knowledge, ancient civilizations could have had assistance from these extraterrestrial visitors that have been far more advanced than ever previously known due to the alien visitors making an attempt to grow a competent labour force for their own personal objectives. If we analyse this theory, it would then begin to shed light on the fact that the first human cities that formed were caused by an organised religion and a requirement of workforce as seen in ancient Egyptian culture and ancient Sumerian cities. Humanity starting over again. There is a famous quote made by Albert Einstein, one of the greatest scientific minds of the modern age and a key figure in the era of the golden age of enlightenment in quantum physics, which states the following: "I do not know with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones." This insight has led many conspiracy theorist communities to ask the question on whether or not this has been the first time we have discovered this deadly technology. Could it be that humans are engaged in a cycle of self-destruction, and when our technology reaches a certain point, we act self-destructively and have to restart humanity all over again? Given the fact that fossils of the modern human have been found stretching as far back as 200,000 years into the prehistoric age, and the first ancient civilizations did not form until roughly 10,000 years ago, this would then assume that there was a 190,000 year period in which humans did absolutely nothing. Of course, this could not be the case. it has become a very real possibility that perhaps nuclear arms and technology has been in an unbreakable loop for millennia, and that perhaps we are merely nearing our end. It could very well be that these advanced ancient civilizations could be nothing more than a warning to our modern age that if we do not learn from our mistakes, we are doomed to repeat them. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.